Hey geeks and gamers, back again with another supplement for the races, and today we will be covering the Minion and the Pengu. I decided to group these together because they're both definitely a bit more of a special breed. I don't think they're going to cover as many players as the average would, but they both definitely called out to me personally quite a bit, so I'm going to start with the Minion. Starting out with the Minion, it's a pretty abundant and pretty common creature, at least in the game itself. We don't really hear too much about it in lore, outside kind of the basic terminology of what they are, which would be an artificial life, a summon puppet to fight, much like you would see in a few other games. They are pushing the battlefield and kind of dying for a cause, much like a clone or the black mages from Final Fantasy. They get a bonus to dexterity because they're pretty small, nimble creatures, and also get one of their choice because of the fact that they usually specialize in a few different possibilities. They reach adulthood in 1 year and only live to be about 50 years on average, assuming that they don't die sooner, considering most minions don't have a very long lifespan purely based on the fact that they are created, reach adulthood, and are sent into combat. Their alignment is often lawful, usually following the control, whether it be knowingly or unknowingly, of a strong spellcaster serving their will on the battlefield. Considering the fact that they are quite short and fragile, they are small-sized creatures and only have a 25-foot movement speed due to the fact that they have pretty short legs. They only begin the game with the common language, but do get quite a few abilities, starting with war training, which gives them proficiency with short swords and shields. They also get Summoner's Magic, which allows them to start with one cantrip of their choice, and one first-level spell that they can cast once per day. These are chosen from the Wizard spell list, but are cast using Wisdom instead when casting. They also get an ability called Push the Lanes, which makes them immune to fear, basically out of ignorance of the fact that they could die, or whether it's determination to follow commands and serve for the common goal and the common good. They also get advantage against slows, refusing to be deterred to reach their objective. The last ability is one that I personally took a lot of joy in which once per day, upon reaching 0 HP, an ally within 30 feet of you gets 50 gold. It definitely creates a good aesthetic matching the actual game itself. It's something where, since it's only once per day, it can't be abused too easily, but it does also give a unique mechanic that feels pretty interesting and gives you an incentive to play a little bit more haphazardly, giving you a suicide bombing support kind of feel, where there's almost the incentive to get downed at least once a day to kind of optimize this, and that truly forces the play style that a minion, in my mind, would uphold. Moving past that, though, we do have the Pengu, which has been created and made popular in large part by TFT, and is definitely something that a lot of people requested when I was originally making the system, just because of the fact that it captures a specific aspect of the game with the cute companion role kind of being filled. It's something kind of fun and lighthearted, and it can definitely play better for your more social, lighthearted players to kind of play around with, purely based on the fact that they're both adorable and quite small and nimble. They get the bonus to charisma and dexterity. They, much like the minion, reach adulthood in 1 year. However, they only live to around 30 years, considering the fact that they are essentially just a penguin. Their alignment is usually chaotic, as their intelligence is usually often a bit below average for a human, and they are really doing what it takes to survive and what it takes to kind of have fun and do what they can to accomplish their goals. Considering the fact that they are quite short and a little bit pudgy, taking the figure of a penguin, they are small-sized, and again only have 25-foot speed because of short legs. Because they are intelligent, I did give them common. They don't get any other languages, but they do get quite a few abilities, much like the minion. They get dark vision in 60 feet. They get a swim speed of 30 feet, giving them a little bit of mobility bonus outside of, obviously, waddling. They also do get amphibious, giving them the ability to breathe water and air, With the combination of those three, they're one of the few characters that can really dive into deep waters and explore in pitch black kind of deep ocean or underground cave waters. They also get belly slide to kind of compensate for their lower move speed, where much like the rogue, they can use their bonus action to dash instead of it being a standard action. They also get ice blood, much like the Iceborn, giving them cold damage resistance and an immunity to natural cold. So these characters really have a lot of versatility as far as being pretty mobile. They've got the ability to see in the dark and swim deep depths, and have a good resistance to cold and tundras, giving them a bit of combatant against different types of casters, natural terrain, and really giving them a little bit of aesthetic mechanics that will help them succeed on top of being the lighthearted, fun, cute companion character. Either way, they definitely are two of my more lighthearted characters, and I wanted to group them together because of that. They're both very fun. They're not for everyone, but they are a couple of races I just didn't feel I could pass over, knowing that they are such unique and dynamic races that really held their own in my mind, and were both races I would love to play as a sorcerer or a rogue. They just have that very unique and lighthearted feel that I just really would love to give to players, and I'm excited to see more of. Either way, with that, I will ask you to comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Let me know what you guys want to see, what you guys want to add. I'm definitely working on adding different backgrounds, different races. I'm going to release it all as one big expansion once I've kind of gotten it to a point I'm happy with. And I will see you in the next adventure.